Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is directed by James Mangold and is the fifth and supposedly final installment in the Indiana Jones franchise. In this film, we follow Indiana Jones, who's now in his old age. He is now getting ready for retirement. However, when an ancient artifact gets in the hands of the wrong person, Indy must put the hat back on one more time. I'm going to be honest, I've only ever seen one Indiana Jones film, and that's Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't love Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I do think it's a really fun adventure film. However, the main thing that got me excited for the Dial of Destiny was James Mangold directing. I think he's a fantastic director, he did a great job on Logan, Ford v Ferrari, and the marketing for this film has been excellent. So for all those reasons, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was in my top 3 most anticipated films of the whole year. In my eyes, the best thing about this film is Harrison Ford in the title role. He brings so much charm to the character, he has so much energy, he's just such an entertaining screen presence, and that's why he's one of our best movie stars. Mads Mikkelsen plays the villain here, and I think he is also excellent. There's something very sinister about his performance, but he never goes over the top with it, so the subtlety makes his character even more unsettling. In this film, I think there are some really fun action sequences. The best action sequences in the Dial of Destiny are the ones that strike a balance between silly but grounded in the world of the film. And there are sequences that do that really well in the Dial of Destiny. I think there are elements of the story that are really intriguing. If you've seen the trailers, then you know there's a portion of the film that flashes back in time. I think parts of that have the potential to be really interesting. I was watching the film like, more of that please. When I saw the runtime for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was 2.5 hours long, I was like, okay, I've got to prepare for this. But I've got to say, I think it's a very well-paced movie. I never felt the 2.5 hours. It very rarely drags. I can't remember the last time I watched a 2.5 hour film and I wasn't bored during any point, so I'll give the film merit for that. However, the big issue with this film is that it's just unnecessary. One thing that really excited me about James Mangold directing is that I thought he really would bring a voice to it. There are glimpses of his previous work in this film, especially Logan. There is the concept of a broken hero finding his place. However, in Logan, that was really well done. In this film, it's only really ever touched upon. I really thought they would make Indy's age and the things he was struggling with the core of the film emotionally, but it's only ever brought up on a few occasions. So because of that, the film has nothing new to say, and therefore it can often feel dull and dry. Phoebe Waller-Bridge in this film plays Indy's goddaughter, and while I will say I warmed to her by the second half of the film, I wasn't a fan of her for the first half. I found her character rather irritating, and therefore she just wasn't likeable. As I said, there are action sequences in this film that strike a balance between silly and grounded in the world of the film. Yes, for a lot of it, the film is dull and dry, but I will say the third act takes a big swing. What they do with the third act is bold, and I totally respect what they were going for, but ultimately it doesn't really work. Tonally, it just feels so out of place and just feels way too silly. Overall, I don't think Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a bad film. In fact, I think there's a lot to really like about it. However, I did just find it a letdown. It's mediocre, and with everyone both in front of the camera and behind the camera, I feel like this should have been so much better than it actually was. I'm going to give Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny a C+. What did you think of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny? Have you seen it? Let me know below. If you haven't seen it, you're looking forward to it. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. You guys are awesome. Blu-ray Billy, logging off.